He stood, though he was several inches shorter than her.
"Your mother wanted you to be a lady, and a lady is what you will be."
"But—"
"No buts,"
he said, raising his right hand.
"This conversation is non-negotiable. There will be no more looking through ledgers at home, and no more visits to the counting-house. Do you understand?"
"I understand, but I don't agree," Lucinda muttered.
"You don't have to agree," he said. "Now, shall I escort you back home?"
"No need, father," Lucinda said, and then lied. "Mrs. Patton is waiting in the carriage. I will shut the door behind me." Lucinda pressed the door closed and leaned back against it, exhaling slowly. She looked at the floor and breathed in and out several times. She wanted to yell in rage and frustration at the unfairness of it all, but she didn't. If there was one thing she had learned from finishing school, it was to keep everything bottled up inside. Arguing had only ever earned her stripes from the strap and enforced isolation in the attic. She continued to breathe slowly in and out until she dropped her embroidery bag on the floor and heard a clunk. Mr. Quill's ledger was still inside of it. Her father had never given her the opportunity to tell him about the embezzler. She looked down the hall and saw that David's office door was open again. Probably for the circulation of air, she thought. Lucinda lifted her head and walked resolutely to David's office. She knocked lightly on the open door. David sat at his desk with his cravat untied and the top of his linen shirt open. His vest and jacket were hung on the coat rack in the corner. She could see a bead of sweat on his exposed collarbone. The slight breeze from the windows behind him stirred his hair. He did not look up, but continued to write a letter. He must not have heard her knock. Lucinda took a few steps forward and cleared her throat. David glanced up at her and shot to his feet in surprise. Or attempted to. He'd forgotten to push out his chair first, so instead the tops of his knees slammed into his desk, and he nearly toppled back into his chair before he managed to stand. He gave her a stiff bow and then clutched at the opening at the top of his shirt. "Lucy, Miss Leavitt, how do you do?" Lucinda grinned. She'd never seen the perfect Mr. David Randall so dishevelled. She pointed to the chair and said primly, "May I sit, please?" "Yes, of course," he said. He hastily buttoned up his shirt, one button off of the correct one. Lucinda sat. After a moment she said coyly, "Must you tower over me?" He dropped into his chair instantly, and then looked over his shoulder for his vest and coat. He stood again, as if to go retrieve them. "There's no need," Lucinda said. "It's hot enough already."